Hey everyone, Haley here from The Foiled Plan. Today I am in a different location. You saw this room in my pegboard DIY that I will link up top here. And this is actually our workroom, so it's not nearly as glamorous as my craft room, which is actually on the other side of this wall here. But I didn't have room in my craft room for my newest crafting addition, so I ended up putting some contact paper down on our workbench and made some space in here because I'm going to convert this room into my clothing heat press station, because you guessed it, and I'm sure you saw by the title, I got an industrial heat press. So I purchased this on Amazon, and I'm just gonna really quick do an unboxing of it because I'm actually home on my lunch break from work right now and I am just too excited to wait. So I only have a few minutes. Let's open this bad boy up. I'm also going to try not to get tangled on my lav mic. It has a really long cord, so bear with me. So I will say this is extremely heavy, and it's just awkward because it's large. So it was like 55 pounds, which when I say that's extremely heavy, if you lift weights, maybe that's nothing for you. So it seems like everything is really well packaged. I think I'm gonna have a better shot at this if I put it on the ground and then lift the heat press out. I just don't have the strength to pull it from here. Actually, one second. Brady? Can you help me? Here's the operator's manual. I'm gonna set that aside. Can you help me? I thought I would be able to do it from up here, but I'm not going to. I don't know if that'll like pop open if you pull it by the handle. Like that. So when you pull it out of the box, don't pull it by the handle. What are you trying to accomplish here?
Just testing it out.
Does it work well?
Yep.
Yep. Gets the seal of your approval?
So far so good. Oh, don't slide it. You're gonna wreck your back tack.
I already did.
Well, look what happened.
I'm just not strong like you.
Well, we know that.
It's not a very long cord.
You probably run the cord down this way.
I have to read the manual, but
Let me turn it on.
no, not until I make a project. Don't.
Make sure power's on.
Don't, because you're going to blow the breaker. I
Make
betcha.
sure power's on before you start using it. Like, you could do a power check. Yep. Turns on.
Looks like we can turn it back off then.
So this part heats up.
Yep. And then it locks and you can adjust the pressure here. I'm glad I got this size, the 15 by 15.
What's the other option? 12?
12 by 15. There is a weird smell. Do you smell that? It smells like new.
Yeah, just like this. Yeah, when I used to work in the factory, we made this stuff.
In the factory?
Factory. Not the factory, just the factory.
Oh, that's gonna be so nice. That was a little harder to pull up.
All right, cool, babe. That's sweet.
Thank you for your help. All right, so now I have taken it out of the... Was that necessary? Stomp all the way up the stairs. Anyway, so I've taken it out of the box. It was packaged really well. It was delivered by Purelator. It didn't require a signature or anything, which seemed odd to me. I don't know if that's something that you can add when you're purchasing one on Amazon, like when you add shipping. I didn't see that. So I'm gonna go over this whole little booklet because I need to figure out more about the pressure knob, because when I was just using my Easy Press, it would specify a certain amount of pressure, and yeah. So I need to learn about that, heat settings, everything, and then I'll come back and we will do a tester project. So yeah, welcome to my new heat press. See you guys in a bit. Hey everyone, I am back. It's actually been a little over a week since I filmed the first part of this video. You may notice my voice sounds a little bit nasally and congested perhaps. I have been sick, so I am just sort of getting over a cold, but I'm doing better. All right, so last Tuesday, I got this heat press. It is now Wednesday of the following week, so I will be 100% honest. I have used this a few times. I actually completed a whole bachelor and bachelorette party, no, wedding, buck and dough team shirt order. Anyways, I have used this a few times, so unfortunately I didn't film the very first time I used it, but I have learned a few things after using it, so I thought that would be good for me to show you kind of where I'm at and some things that I've learned. I have first of all, I'm gonna get this turned on and heated up because it takes a hot minute to actually heat up to the correct temperature. So what I'm working with today is a cotton shirt. And is it a cotton shirt? I'm using one of these Gildan shirts. This is one of the neon pink ones from Michaels. And it is 50% cotton, 50% polyester. So that's the shirt I'm working with. And then I already have my design cut. It is, I don't know if you can see it there, but I made this design and I designed it in Procreate, so I hand drew everything and then cut the design out on my Cricut Explore Air 2. And the material is Caesar Easy Weed, and it's just white. So for that, I checked the heat guide for the Caesar products, and when you're using the Easy Weed on like a cotton shirt, you want the temperature to be at 305 degrees. So I'm just going to turn on the heat press, which there's a button just at the side here. Also, I want to mention too, I found this little baggie. It's really tough to see because the lighting is really bad back here, but when Brady and I were taking the heat press out of the box, I didn't realize that this had fallen out and it was just on the floor, and I didn't know what these were, but Brady explained to me these are actually extra fuses. So if you ever blow a fuse, there's a spot on the side of it where you can open it up and then replace the fuse. So don't lose those if you end up purchasing this heat press. Anyways, there is a big power button on the side of the machine, so I'm just going to turn that on. And this should already be raised up. And then you want medium pressure, so you can just adjust. Like, this is pretty light pressure. It doesn't take a whole lot for me to pull it down, so I'm going to turn it slightly so that it tightens it up a little bit. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yes, to the right. There. Okay, so we turn to the right to tighten it. And you can set the temperature on the side. I'll insert a little clip here of me actually adjusting the temperature. And with This material on this type of fabric, you want to press for 10 to 15 seconds. So I have my timer set to 10 seconds, and then I just lift up and then press again for another 5, because when you've hit the 10-second mark, the heat press just starts to beep, and it's just one consecutive beep until you lift. That way, if you like have to run to the other room or something real quick, you can hear that that beep is going, and you know you have to run back because it's not going to stop until you open it. So right now it's at 115 degrees, so we, like I said, have a ways to go for it to heat up. But once it does heat up, the heat is pretty consistent all around. Some extra things that I did purchase were this package of 3 Teflon sheets. So you definitely want to have Teflon sheets when you're doing pressing on this. A lot of people will get like industrial size magnets for the sides of these. This is what the sheets look like if you're unaware. And you would, what I've been doing, because I don't have the industrial magnets, is when I lay the shirt down, and I'll show you that in a second, but I set the Teflon sheet on top of the design and the shirt so that when I press, I don't have to worry about the heat press like scorching any of the material or anything like that. But as I mentioned before, a lot of people do get industrial magnets. I'm not going to touch this because it's hot, but they'll stick this like to the side so that it just stays on the top the whole time. And I think in the ad this says like it's good for up to like 1,000 presses with the heat. There's lots of different kinds out there, but I am going to link both this heat press and these Teflon sheets in my Amazon shop so you can find the exact ones that I use for these. And another thing that I've used, I have these heat press mats. These are the Cricut Easy Press mats. And I found that when I was doing the Buck and Doe shirt order with 15 shirts, this is the largest one. It came in really handy because I had to do designs on both the front and the back of the shirt. And because I was doing stuff on the back of the shirt, you want to make sure there's like a pillow in between, or like some space in between the front and the back of the shirt, just because it'll end up messing up your design on the back of the shirt because the collar at the front is lower than the collar is on the back. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but if you stick this up inside, and then there's 2 sides to a heat or easy press mat. So if you have the lighter gray side facing up, you press facing up inside of the shirt, and then you press the design, then take the shirt back out, leave the carrier sheet on the design that you've just pressed, flip the shirt over, and then put this back inside so that the gray is now facing the next side that you're going to be pressing. Press it again, then remove the whole thing, and then you can take the carrier sheet off of the whole design. This works really, really well. So I'm glad that I happen to have this on hand. I will also link this in my shop as well. So it looks like we're just hitting 200 degrees now. It's been probably about 7 minutes. So give it some time. It definitely does not heat up as quick as the easy presses, but that doesn't really make any difference to me because I'm usually buzzing around doing 100 other things to prepare for what I am doing. So anyways, I'm going to stop this for just a moment, wait for it to heat up the rest of the way, and then we will be right back and I will show you the press. Here we go. All right, so I've just adjusted my camera angle. I know I'm a little bit cut off, sorry. My heat press is at about 295 right now, so just be very careful when you're working around the heat press. It is very, very hot, and you can feel the heat. Even if I have my hands here, you can feel the heat radiating. So make sure you also read the manual. I made sure to do that before I used it the first time there's some good information in here. And you just want to make sure that you are protecting yourself and being very careful with this much heat. Okay, so now that looks like I'm at 301, I should mention that if you are waiting for this to beep when it gets up to temperature, like the Cricut Easy Press does, you will be waiting for a very long time because it doesn't beep when it tells to tell you that it's up to temperature. So just keep that in mind. So the first thing that I want to do is make sure that I'm pressing on a completely flat, wrinkle-free surface. So I'm still not quite at 305, but I'm just going to smooth out any wrinkles that I can by hand and then just gently press down for a couple seconds, and that has gotten rid of all of my wrinkles. And now what I like to do to make sure that my design is centered and down far enough is to use a ruler. So with a size medium shirt, it's usually a good idea if you have the design down about 3.5 inches from the collar. So that's where I think I'm going to start my design. So I've got my design here. You can see it a little bit easier there. Oh, I've stuck it to the ruler. Anyways, smooth it out, smooth it out. It's all good. And I might need to move this up a tad. Again, being very careful not to touch the heat plate. And I'm gonna say that the scissors on this design is kind of where I want the center to be. I'm just gonna move it up a little bit. Just measure. I know this tool is the highest one, but if it kind of sits up here, I'm fine with that, and then the rest kind of trickling down, if that makes sense. So the scissors are sitting at about 4 inches, which is perfect. And I'm just gonna press down, and because the carrier sheet is sticky, I can actually take my shirt and do a visual, okay, does this look straight? Does this look centered? Sometimes I'll even throw it back on a hanger, set it like this, and then step back so I can look at it from a little bit of a distance. But this looks great to me. So I'm going to pop it back on, being very gentle. And then make sure you don't forget to put the Teflon sheet back on. Give it another little smooth, make sure there's no wrinkles. And we're ready to press because the heat press is now at 305 degrees. So all I'm going to do is pop down until it locks. You hear the click, it's locked. It's automatically counting down 10 seconds, and then pop it down for 5 seconds, and then we pop up. Then we can remove the Teflon sheet, and you can either leave it on here to peel away, or if you feel more comfortable removing the t-shirt, setting it aside, and then peeling the carrier sheet away from that so you're not touching the heat press, definitely feel free to do that. I'm gonna grab my camera so that you can see the peel away. So just 1 second here. Okay, I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I'm sorry if it's shaky, but it might be a little bit tricky for me to peel away with just one hand, but also again, maybe not. Oh, 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 oh. Perfect. So you can see it's like fused right into the t-shirt. There's no bubbles, nothing. All right, so this is the final product. The shirt is a little bit snug on me, but what do you guys think? Now with washing this, we would wash it inside out with like colors on cold, and then tumble dry on low or hang it up to dry. This color is so bright and vibrant and fun and so cute. You might see me wearing this shirt in some videos to come. All right, so final verdict. I am absolutely thrilled that I got this heat press rather than just getting a larger model of the Cricut Easy Press. For myself, I am going to be doing a lot more orders. I'm actually planning to turn this room into a like heat press clothing making room over here because I don't have any more room in my craft room. Pretty soon, just my entire house is gonna be crafts. Because I'm doing a lot of orders like for bachelorette parties and buck and does and things like that. So it makes sense for me to have one of these because I can just boom, bang it out like super quick and then move on to the next shirt. If you're someone that's not necessarily going to be doing a lot of large orders, then you maybe wouldn't necessarily need one of these. There's also lots of different types of heat presses. This is the clamshell one. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the very beginning, but with clamshell means it opens like a clamshell. There's also the swing away kind where it swings over to the side, and some people prefer those. I've never had one personally, but you need to have a lot of space for those for them to swing out to the side, and I needed mine to be as compact as possible, so that's why I went with the clamshell. If you guys have any questions, please pop them in the comment section below. I am happy to answer. I will give you guys periodic updates on how this is going, and I'm also thinking about starting to film like studio vlogs. It's not necessarily going to be like one full day. It might be like over a week of everything that I do in like the craft room and in this room. Might involve like packaging orders, and I can show you how I like run things through my website and do like the accounting side of my business. But yeah, I don't know. If that seems like something you guys would be into, then let me know. Or if you're more so just interested in like learning how to craft or like product reviews, let me know, because I'm just here to help and like try and make cool stuff. So anyways, all my socials are in the description box below as per usual. I will link stuff around that's helpful. I will have this and the products that I've used in my Amazon shop, and I will see you guys next Friday. That's all I'm gonna say. Bye!
Oh, hear that? I heard that noise in Transformers one time.
Optimus Prime?
When the Decepticons enter the atmosphere. Make paninis on this bad boy.
You're gonna make a panini?